want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio. Your host, Brian Smith. Giving you all the details, all the breaking news of last night, everything that happened last night, setting the record straight, playing some sound bites for you, and giving you all the details that you're not going to hear from the media. We've got a lot of little tidbits, a lot of little things that need to come out. We're going to make this real brief and real short today, so we're going to get right in. We're going to just dig right into it right away. I know the name of the title of the show is FBI Comey ties the Clinton Foundation, and we're going to get into that. And also this whole notion that Hillary's health. I played a soundbite yesterday of a news outlet remarking Hillary's dead. And now yesterday there's another news outlet that remarks that, and like, oh, that was a flub, that was an accident. Okay. It was an accident when everybody was saying when Obama killed Osama bin Laden. Everybody kept referring to Osama bin Laden, Obama, bin Laden, Obama, Obama killed Obama bin Laden. You know, that whole flub, that whole mess up. I understand that, but this? Hillary dead? I don't get that whatsoever. Everybody's really starting to digest the entire WikiLeaks dump that happened on Tuesday, and it's a treasure trove full of stuff. There's more hacked emails, Gmail account of Colin Powell. Colin Powell is remarked in one of his emails is saying that he will not vote for Hillary Clinton. He won't do it. And the reason why he won't vote for Trump either, but the reason why he's not going to vote for Hillary Clinton is because Bill Clinton is dicking around with bimbos at the house. Still. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Colin Powell knows, how much he knows of what's going on at Bill Clinton's house, how true that is. I mean, it's just kind of popping off, but everybody knows Bill Clinton. He's a serial rapist. So it's not a far-fetched notion that he's probably still messing around at the house. Something that came out on Twitter today, people were tweeting out different things, and then somebody tweeted out something about Bill Clinton with AIDS, and that Hillary probably has it too. And so I started to get into that and started digging it. There is an article where they interviewed Bill and Hillary Clinton, and it's a well-known article. So you can Google it. Google Bill Clinton has AIDS, and that will be one of the first articles that come up. It's not a hit piece, but in the article it does say that Hillary has Bill frequently have STD tests just because of how much he's messing around. Jeez. I mean, it's one thing to have tests before you get married, but it's another thing to have tests on your spouse because of the mass amounts of infidelity. So I'm just blown away. I'm beside myself with it. So that's what's going on with Colin Powell. Apparently Colin Powell stepped in it, and people are not. Apparently he made somebody mad, and so Grucifer 2.0 has hacked his Gmail account. I guess nothing's off limits. I mean, it's all out there. Somebody made a comment that they had a treasure trove of information on the RNC, but they're not going to release it. Well, I dare you to release it, because that's something that we would love to see, because it's going to show us all the rhino Republicans, all the John Boehners, all the Lindsey Grahams, all the John McCains, all of them that are in the pockets of the DNC. some of the emails that were hacked of Nancy Pelosi showed payments to John Boehner, showed money flowing back and forth to the Republican Party. And I'm not surprised whatsoever, but that's how those dirty politicians roll. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's see. Well, let's just jump right into to the whole Comey thing. Let's just knock this thing out as it is right now. Okay, right now, the hack has just now shown, Crucifer 2.0 is showing now that James Comey, the FBI director, Breitbart wrote the article about this. It says the concerns focus on millions of dollars, as a matter of fact, about $6 million that flowed to Comey. He accepted it from a Clinton Foundation defense contractor. Comey's former membership on the Clinton Foundation Corporate Partners Board and his surprising financial relationship with his brother Peter Comey, who works at the law firm that does the Clinton Foundation taxes. Okay, so I got into the article. Here's how it goes. A defense contractor never donated to the Clinton Foundation. And in 2010, they did donate to the Clinton Foundation in large sums. James Comey, I believe, was FBI director at the time. The defense contractor was awarded large contracts through Hillary Clinton signing off on them. And no, back up. I apologize. James Comey worked for the defense contractor as a vice president on the board. And his first year there received almost $6 million. Subsequently, right after that, they applied to Hillary Clinton, or they applied for defense contracts, and at the same time they applied for those contracts in 2010, they donated large sums of money to the Clinton Foundation, while Comey was also part of that defense. And so the three of them all intertwined together kind of point fingers at Comey, which is, I mean, why not? I mean, as dirty as it is, there's got to be a reason. And we're all saying there's got to be a reason for what Comey did, why he did it, and claiming that she had no intent because she told me so. Well, do you think she could be lying to you? I mean, I'm just saying. So, Comey claims there's no intent. Everybody sees intent everywhere. It's just absolutely disgusting. It's insane. We played Steve Shabbat's yesterday, where he literally on national TV served the FBI subpoena to be able to get a hold of these documents that involve the Hillary Clinton email, the Clinton Foundation. It's just it's unheard of. It's just out of control. And so, lo and behold, the corporation who does, or the company who does all the taxes for the Clinton Foundation, James Comey's brother, Peter Comey, works at that law firm that does the Clinton Foundation taxes. It's all circumstantial, but it's just too close for comfort. Speaking about what just happened, what just happened was so bad and so egregious that any little indication, any little thing, any minute speck of anything is a red flag. Not only that, but when Comey first took office, he swore to Congress, swore to, that if anything came up that had to do with former employees or former employers, he would recuse himself in any and all situations. And apparently, that didn't happen here. So, James Comey, it's getting dirty, man. It's getting hot, and it's getting real dirty. So, on Fox News, one of my favorite correspondents, Catherine Heritage, she was on Fox News, and she started talking about, 1C, Mr. Producer, and she started talking about the FBI, started talking about James Comey, started talking about these documents, started talking about everything that's coming out. So go ahead and we're going to play this. This is Catherine on Fox News.
There were two documents that were released by the FBI this afternoon. The critical document is this document. It's called the 302. That's what the FBI calls a summary of an interview. The FBI does not traditionally record interviews. So in the Clinton case, that was also true, and there's no transcript. There's just this summary of the FBI agent's notes who questioned her. And consistently throughout the interview, Hillary Clinton says that she simply cannot recall when she got her security clearance. She cannot recall any specific training or briefing for the handling of classified information. And she cannot recall any specific training for the handling of special access programs. These are some of the U.S. government's most closely held intelligence programs, such as NSA technical programs and also human spying. And the other thing that really jumps out from this 302 summary is the fact that Mrs. Clinton said she used the account for convenience. But there was absolutely no follow-up from the agents about what that exactly meant, because we now understand that she had multiple devices, there were multiple servers, yet they don't press her on this issue. And this is one of the main criticisms of the Republicans who had read this document. And this criticism seems very well founded. I hesitate to be really critical of the FBI, but it feels like they were almost stenographers in this case and not really probing with their questions, Greg.
You know, as a defense attorney, I got the same reaction. It sounded like they were reading from a script and they weren't paying attention to the answers because there were very few follow-ups. What about these special access programs?
Special access programs, as I mentioned, are really the crown jewels for the U.S. intelligence community. These are programs that are only known by a small circle of people. And the reason that's the case is because human lives are really on the line. And what we see in the FBI interview is that she is asked about the 22 top secret emails that were too damaging to release for national security reasons because they relate to these programs. So we can see their questions about target selection for the drone campaign. We can also see there's a question about a human spy who was working for the CIA. This was a story first reported by Fox News. And we can also see that there's the discussion of a U.S. Army officer who was killed in Afghanistan, but a senior aide to Mrs. Clinton, or a longtime contact, essentially outed that person as someone who worked at the CIA after their death and really effectively put that person's family at grave risk. It's shocking to me to see that that was, in fact, the case. And what I would add is that the document says she can't recall the briefings and the declarations she made to the government about how she understood she would handle this information in an appropriate way. And she signed 2 of these non-disclosure agreements within just a matter of days of becoming Secretary of State, confirming to the government under oath that she understood the rules. Yet when she was questioned by the FBI, she was able to walk away from that interview saying, I don't remember, I don't recall, I didn't know the rules. And it's very hard to look at this document and not really understand. One of the criticisms I have heard consistently from people who've had security clearances is that if you had slapped another name on that file, that person would be in jail and not running for President of the United States.
That's a fact. Did you all digest that? I know that was a lot of information, but do you understand that the weight, the brevity, the gross negligence? I mean, at bare minimum, she's completely incompetent. At bare minimum, she's incompetent. Worst case scenario, she really does have some serious brain damage. Something that's really wrong with her head and is causing a lot of problems right now. Either that or she's just incompetent and brain damaged. Maybe both together.
Chefs get together.
Ooh.
Magic begins to start happening.
What are we doing
New
here?
ideas come from very old traditions.
Okay. So I guess Amazon is going to go ahead and pay its royalties for that commercial. All right, I'm on Breitbart, and I'm going back to the FBI James Comey, and this is Breitbart reports on this. Says a review of the FBI Director James Comey's professional history and relationship shows that the Obama cabinet leader, now under fire for his mishandling of the investigation of Hillary Clinton, is deeply entrenched in big money cronyism culture of Washington, D.C. His personal and professional relationships, all undisclosed, as he announced the Bureau would not prosecute Hillary. Reinforced bipartisanship concerns that he may have politicized the criminal probe. I mean, it just goes so deep. This article goes on. And they talk about Lockheed Martin won 17 approvals for private contracts from Hillary Clinton's State Department. And here's where the money comes from. Lockheed Martin is a Clinton Foundation donor. The company admitted to becoming a Clinton Global Initiative member in 2010, and then also records show that Lockheed Martin is also a member of the American Chamber of Commerce in Egypt, which paid Bill Clinton $250,000 to deliver a speech in 2010 as well. So it's bad. It's really bad. The very year that Lockheed Martin became a donor of the Clinton Foundation, James Comey was paid $6 million in that one single year from Lockheed Martin. So it's dirty deeds all the way around. It's absolutely disgusting what's going on. People in countries outside are looking at us and they're just laughing at how ridiculous our government looks like right now. How pathetic it is. It reminds me of the movie Lord of the Flies, where there's no parents, there's no rules, there's no guidelines. It's something we say here on Smith Radio all the time, is that rules are for those who obey rules. Rules are put into place, and they only work if everybody around agrees to those rules or laws. If you put laws on the books and everybody agrees to those laws, and everybody agrees that law enforcement agents will enforce those laws, and we go along with it, we're good. But when people start paying off law enforcement, or people start paying off individuals and breaking those rules and not abiding by those laws, then we have a breakdown of the entire system. And that's what's going on right now. It's out of control. It's disturbing, to say the least. All this stuff is coming up on Hillary. I don't know when it's going to stop, or even if it does stop. It's just it's one after another after another. So let's keep moving on along. We're going to get into Hillary's health now. There's a lot of things that are starting to come out again. Let me get into that clip about Hillary being dead. Just listen to this and you tell me. Let's see which one and where are we at, folks. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay. This soundbite is two different news reporters reporting on Hillary's health. Listen to what they say. Now, at the very end of the clip, you're going to hear a guy who's on Twitter, at Prison Planet. His name's Paul Watson. He's a really good new media reporter, if you will. He does this on his own. He's not affiliated with any of the mainstream media or anything like that at all. And he comes in at the end, actually makes a phone call to the news outlet to confirm or deny Hillary's death. So listen to this real quick.
Some of the conspiracy theories about her death, about her health, will come up. We have one step here to get up to this set, and they have trouble getting up that step themselves. We have to have people. So they're
second soundbite.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandra Bookman.
And I'm Joe Torres. We begin with the breaking news about Hillary Clinton's death. Hillary Clinton's doctor has just revealed the presidential candidate has been diagnosed with pneumonia. The breaking news about Hillary Clinton's death.
Joe Torres reported that Hillary Clinton had died yesterday.
It was only a mistake, yes.
It was a mistake?
Yes, that is accurate. An unfortunate mistake. Yes.
I don't know how you make that mistake, folks. I mean, it's just unconscionable. Okay, so now we've got, let's see, we've got Bill Clinton out on the stumping for Hillary. He's out stumping. Obama's out stumping, and Michelle's out stumping because Hillary is missing in action. Apparently, she was told to rest in bed. Apparently, we were told that she had pneumonia. Now, come to find out, she had blood clots. She also had some type of surgery. There's a lot of things that are brewing around that her camp has released some paperwork that if you read it and you look into it, there might be a little bit more than what they're leading on to believe. So when Bill Clinton was out on the stump, apparently he wasn't given the right memo about what his wife had. He said she had the flu still. Some people are saying she's got pneumonia. Other people are saying she's got a blood clot and had to have surgery. There was there's a news reporter on Twitter that tweeted out immediately after Hillary Clinton had passed out on 9/11. He tweeted out, Hillary Clinton admitted to the ER, emergency room, for emergency medical attention and in critical condition. Somebody got a screenshot of that and passed it around viral. Apparently that was deleted. Something else that came up to be interesting when they said that she went to Chelsea Clinton's apartment. Well, apparently, as they're driving down the road, you have Secret Service in front of you and Secret Service behind you, referred to as the detail. Apparently, her vehicle veered off the road and away from the detail, and the detail literally had to chase them down. And that's why she went to Chelsea's apartment. It's because she avoided going to the hospital where the detail was going to take her, went to Chelsea's apartment, and when they got there, strangely enough, Chelsea's condo complex is listed as a senior medical facility inside that complex. I mean, this is all so strange. It's all too much. It's just like, really? Is this really where you want to go with trying to run for president of the United States? Is this what it's come to right now? It's just out of control. Something else that came up, Ed Kline, who's a writer, he was on Fox News, and Ed Kline had this to say about, spoke to someone very close to Hillary Clinton, someone who's inside the apartment, inside helping out, and this is what Ed Kline had to say on Sean Hannity's show.
I had an interview, and I'm sorry to pull out a piece of paper, but I got to do this, with a friend who said she's not steady on her feet, she frequently gets dizzy at home, even when she climbs stairs. This is a friend who speaks to her. Mm-hmm. She has her legs elevated when she's at home because of her circulation problems. Huma Abedin brings her cold, water-soaked towels to put on her neck and her forehead. And Bill has been beside himself, begging her to get a real checkup.
I mean, I know that's third-party, third-hand account, but I mean, I got no reason to think that Ed Kline's lying to us. It's, it goes deep and it keeps going. I mean, when will we ever find out? Apparently, she's got no scheduled events from here until the first debate, which is in 11 days, I believe. The first debate will be, I think it's supposed to be the 26th. Yeah, the 26th of this month. So we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days from now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the presser that she gave just a couple of weeks ago on her aircraft started coughing and choking up and had to be taken. She walked away from that press conference way back during the Democrat debates. And remember the time she was late coming to stage? Well, come to find out, Secret Service said that the reason why she was late coming to stage is because she was being looked at by a physician off camera. I'm not making any of this up. This is just what's being passed down. It's one thing after another after another. Okay, her health aside, all this aside, she would be an awful, awful, awful president of the United States. First off, she's going to continue with Obama's policies and make them even worse. Obama actually tried to rein her in on some of her things with Sid Blumenthal. She wanted to put Sid Blumenthal in as a cabinet position, and Obama said no, cannot do it. He cannot be your advisor either. Come to find out, he was advising her the whole time along. So there are no rules for Hillary Clinton. She'll, by hook or by crook, she'll get, take, steal whatever she wants, and nobody will do anything about it. If she's the first female president of the United States, I mean, look at Congress and the Senate. They won't rein in Obama. What makes you think they're going to rein in this? It's just, I mean, I'm pulling my hair out because of the insanity. Good news, though, folks. Good news. Trump has pulled ahead in Nevada, a battleground state. He's pulled ahead within, where are the numbers? Here we go. See, Nevada, he polls at 44 and Hillary at 42, which was just the opposite. Trump in Ohio has now pulled 46 to Hillary's 41, and in Florida, 47 to 44. One of our listeners and close family member of ours has been following Real Clear Politics and says that the run-up until this month, September, Hillary Clinton was leading in almost every battleground state, and now within just the past couple of weeks, it's flipped, and Trump is starting to lead in all these battleground states. So good news, you know, and I'm listening to a lot of stuff, and I've got to filter all these things out. Good news is what I'm hearing across the board is probably exactly what you're hearing. Nobody wants Hillary, regardless of her sex. Just because she's a female, nobody wants that whatsoever. I don't see Hillary signs here in Cincinnati. I see a lot of Trump signs, a lot of Trump bumper stickers. I don't see any Hillary stuff at all. Okay, that being said, one of Trump's senior advisors, AJ Delgado, she is a phenomenal woman. And that's something else about Trump and his businesses, the Trump enterprise, if you will. There are more women in executive positions than there are men. How misogynistic is that? Right. Okay. So she's on CBSN, I guess that's the CBS network, and the reporter is coming at Trump to drum up a scandal, a financial scandal. They're doing everything to Trump. They're coming at Trump about his health. They're coming at Trump at his money. They're trying to bring up again the whole Trump University. They're trying to bring up KKK member. I mean, they're trying to bring up all this garb, and nothing's sticking. I mean, literally, Trump is the new Teflon Don. So check out this sound clip. This is from Trump's senior advisor, AJ Delgado.
One thing that's coming under scrutiny today, and we were just listening to the interview with Eric Schneiderman right now, the Attorney General for New York. Mm-hmm. We've heard a lot about the Clinton Foundation. Now it's the Donald Trump Foundation that's under fire. The Washington Post has been on the forefront of reporting.
hold on, let me stop it right there. No, we have not heard a lot about the Clinton Foundation from you guys. If you're on the internet, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, you've heard a lot about the Clinton Foundation. But the media is mums. No words, no information, no nothing on the Clinton Foundation, how they raped and pillaged Haiti during that earthquake. When Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, they went down there and literally raped and pillaged Haiti. Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation went to Nigeria, literally raped and pillaged Nigeria, destroyed whatever structure was there, put guns and weapons and ammunitions in the hands of warlords to take over areas and territories that would then, for money, give the Clinton Foundation or associates rights to mineral rights to different parts of that land, whether it be diamonds or gold or whatnot. And then the whole sale of uranium to the Russian government. Okay, I digress.
The Washington Post has been on the forefront of reporting some of the different donations that have been made that are in question at this point. How does the Trump campaign explain some of these discrepancies here, including the contribution to Pam Bondi? There's also a report of purchasing thousands of dollars worth of gear, of Tim Tebow gear, and a portrait of Donald Trump.
Well, both of those, for instance, the helmet, the Tim Tebow gear, the painting, were at charity events. So it was Trump Foundation money going towards a charity.
Did you hear that? The drive-by media didn't do their homework, and they didn't realize that what Donald Trump was doing in his foundation was actually donating money to a charitable event. Tim Tebow, who's a Christian, very good, upstanding young man, for a charity auction. Donald Trump.
When I read the Washington Post piece, I thought, my gosh, where's the big reveal here? The ones who have to answer, it's not really the Trump Foundation, it's the Washington Post reporter. He's already had to make 3 corrections for donations he claimed in the piece were never made. They've had to update and say, whoops, they were made.
That he was told originally that they were not made, and now that they were, and he did report that. What about the donation to...
She tries to cover another colleague that messed up, but that's the media.
Pam Bondi to the Florida Attorney General.
That's been completely debunked. Mr. Trump and Miss Bondi have been friends for years. He's been friends with her mother for years. He's somebody who lives in Palm Beach a great deal of the time. So it makes sense that he would support the Attorney General of Florida.
But not the foundation.
The idea. Oh, the check from the foundation was a clerical error. The campaign has explained that the names were confused. So these things happen. That's okay. And they paid the fee. That's done. But as for the actual donation to Pam Bondi, it makes, a $25,000 donation. To think that Miss Bondi wouldn't have put through an investigation that she should have done. What she did was what every other attorney general, with the exception of Eric Schneiderman, a Hillary Clinton supporter, did, which is to say there's nothing here. So the optics here are not strange for Pam Bondi. They're strange. Why is Eric Schneiderman the only attorney general in the entire country out of 50 who saw fit to investigate Trump University and now Trump Foundation? He has an obligation not to waste taxpayers' money's time, who fund his salary and his time.
There you go, folks. That's just it. Every time they come at Trump with one thing or another, it winds up putting egg in their face. Every single time, just egg in their face. So, okay, let's move on. Some of the other stuff about Hillary Clinton. Jeffrey Katzenberg of Walt Disney on Hillary Clinton's health scare. He's quoted as saying, "Hillary is the Rock of Gibraltar. She remains the single most qualified person to be the next president of the United States of America." And then he put down his scotch and brandy and proceeded to the bedroom. Oh my goodness. This guy is absolutely drunk with something. If you looked into Katzenberg, I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars going through the Clinton Foundation. Of course, that's my opinion. It's pure speculation, but stuff like that's not too far off. Hillary is the Rock of Gibraltar. She's about as smart as the Rock of Gibraltar. I don't know if she's as strong as one, It's insanity is what it is. So Politico came out with an article. Clinton released a doctor report, and she's perfectly fine. A-OK. My whole opinion about that entire article that Politico wrote is this article is just so that you know she was dehydrated and overheated. Let me restate that. She was dehydrated and overheated. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you, Politico. Love these news outlets. They're just incredible. Another article that came out yesterday, Bill Clinton no longer the closer. So Bill Clinton had 3 engagements that he went to on the West Coast to raise money, and it turned out bad. It didn't turn out good at all. I mean, they're saying that, he's a nice guy. He's the former president of the United States, but according to the campaign, he ranks up there with Joe Biden and Tim Kaine, followed by Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. That's according to the Democrat operatives. So, sorry, Bill. Just, it ain't happening no more. And you can see, he's much, much older. Time's really taking a toll on him. All those sex scandals that he had to avoid, and all the heat. So, it just ain't working out. However, the Democrat operatives are trying to push to get more of Obama out, more of Michelle out. They say that Michelle and Obama stumping for Hillary is the best thing right now because Hillary can't stump for herself. That's just great. We got somebody running for president of the United States who can't actually go outside and stump. However, we're told that she's perfectly fine. She's good enough to walk outside of an apartment and hug a strange little girl with no Secret Service around. Zoom in on that picture. That does not look like Hillary Clinton. Might be her, doesn't look like her. Might be her, doesn't look like her. We're going to be having a special interview later on this week, probably on Sunday, with a professional vocalist who sings and does vocals for a living, trained vocalist. Her husband is also an IT guy in the music industry. We're going to have both of them on, and you've got to hear their ideas and their opinions on some of these phone-in interviews that Hillary's been having. She doesn't show up to the interview on CNN, but she'll phone it in. So you're going to... We'll see how that goes. So stay tuned for Sunday night. Again, we're doing this morning review every morning all the way up until the election. Today is day 54. There's 54 days left until the election of Donald J. Trump as President of the United States, which will upset the time-space continuum. And hopefully somebody will have a flux capacitor nearby with 1.21 gigawatts so that we can shock the universe back into reality. That would be... the flux capacitor is the pacemaker for the universe. So we just need to prepare ourselves. And then earlier, I said Colin Powell and his emails were hacked. Colin Powell cracking on Bill Clinton for still messing around with women and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And then Obama. Article came out yesterday from Breitbart. Obama's been trying to push real hard to get the Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia replaced with a very liberal judge so that they can overturn all rules and laws and overturn the Constitution, overturn everything, and just run amok. Well, that hasn't happened. So we're like, oh, we're safe. We can hold out for Donald Trump to come into play, and then he'll be able to elect or nominate 2 to 3 more judges. Well, we've got a small little problem. People haven't been talking about this. But for the last 7 years, all around the entire country, Obama has been removing and installing lower court judges that are absolutely communist liberal judges in local lower courts. And what does that mean? That means these judges, according to the article, are going to help and change the rules for the upcoming election. That's about all I got on that. I mean, we'll have to see what happens, but it's scary. It's really scary. And for those of you, any of you who are listening, that sat out in 2008 because you wanted to teach somebody a lesson, and sat out in 2012 because you wanted to teach somebody a lesson, well, you know what? You're paying for that lesson. We're paying for this lesson. And who knows if we'll ever get this thing straight. I promise you, even if Donald Trump is elected and he gets 8 years in the White House with his reelection, I'm telling you flat out right now, it's going to take 5 back-to-back 5 Donald Trumps, 5 times 8, 40 years of Donald Trump, Ronald Reagan-esque type policies to right this ship. That's how bad it is right now. This thing is so off the rails, it's not even funny. But let's focus on what's at hand right now. And what is at hand is we have the possibility to get this thing started in the right direction. Okay, so Obama comes out and stumped for Hillary, talks about himself 137 times during a speech about Hillary. He also brings up Donald Trump and says the absolute opposite of what Trump actually really did, whether it be to help out a charity, whether it be to do good things, or whether it to be add jobs, whether it be to be a bona fide leader. Okay, so Obama says the opposite. Check this out. This is something we've talked about on Smith Radio before. When Obama talks about Hillary Clinton, he goes into method acting, and he imagines in his mind that he's speaking about Donald Trump, the great leader, the great historically, this individual has done so many good things in the past, and he, built up people and built up individuals, and on and on and on and on, all the accolades. He literally is talking about Donald Trump. Now, when he goes to talk about Donald Trump, he has to switch gears and imagine he's talking about Hillary Clinton. I am dead serious. Next time that you listen to Obama speak and he starts railing against Donald Trump, listen to his words, and he's actually talking about Hillary Clinton. That's how hysterical this is. And then when he starts talk about Hillary Clinton, don't get mad. Just listen to him talking about Hillary Clinton. Imagine Donald Trump, and you'll be like, "Oh my goodness, he is absolutely talking about Donald Trump." Poor Obama. A few more months of this guy, and we'll be rid of him for good. When he's out of the White House, it's just going to be the best thing for everybody. And breaking news: Mexico builds a border wall. Yep, you heard that right, folks. Mexico has now completed a border wall, not on the border of America, their southern border, to keep out gangs and violence and drug lords from the south, and to help protect their own people. Oh, isn't that so nice? Walls really do work now, don't they? And Mexico's proven that. Mexico has now proven that walls do work. We talked about Bill Clinton's three events that he did, and all 3 failed. Bill ranks up there with Joe Biden, Tim Kaine, followed by Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, according to Democrat operatives. And last but not least, Venezuela. Venezuela, back in the turn of the millennial turn, the 2000, early, I think it was around 2009, Hugo Chavez was elected by Democrat government to be president of Venezuela. Well, it's corrupt, obviously, because Hugo Chavez was a huge, just maniacal, egomaniac, self-absorbed. I'm trying to be. PG rated here. But anyways, I have nothing good to say whatsoever about Hugo Chavez. So Hugo Chavez then lost re-election. He didn't like that, and he wanted to get back into power. So he did whatever he had to do, got back into power, and then used his veto power to change the Constitution so that he could stay in power. And then that's when he turned everything to government-owned. Government-owned oil, government-owned this, just went down the socialist utopia that is communism. And he just absolutely, utterly destroyed. And he was only in power just for a few years before he caught the cancer and blamed the cancer on George W. Bush and America. People like him don't deserve to live on this planet. And so now he's gone. However, Venezuela has completely been destroyed and has fallen into the social grips and the ruins of hyperinflation to the tune of, you go to the grocery store, you want to buy a dozen eggs, it will cost you $150 to purchase yourself a dozen eggs in Venezuela. The $150 isn't actually 150 US dollars. It's because their dollar is worthless. Imagine you staring at a $100 bill, American $100 bill, looking at that $100 bill and say, what can I buy with this? You go to the grocery store and you can get a loaf of bread for $100. That may soon happen here in America as well. It happens when governments attempt to print their way out of debt, and Obama has been printing more money and more money and more money and getting absolutely disgusting with it. Report came out earlier this week that the Obama administration has raised $20 trillion worth of taxes, at the same time spent us into $8 trillion worth of debt, pushing it all the way to close to 20. They're saying 20.5 trillion by the time he leaves. For those of you who voted for Obama, I hope you realize what you've done. It's bad. Folks, it's really bad out there. Anyways, we'll survive this just like we survive anything else. We'll keep talking about this. Share this show to your friends and your family, so at least you can get this information out to them, just like we can get this information out to everybody else. On Sunday evenings, you can be a part of the show. The call-in line is 513-888-1538. You can be a part of the show. And if you want to be a part of the show on the morning update, that'll be fine as well, 513-888-1538. If you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/Smith Radio, SMYTH Radio. Like our page, and please do us a huge favor. We've been hit by crazy cruise crew people who have left negative reviews just out of spite, out of anger, and out of hate for Donald Trump. If you could please go to our Facebook page and like it, and then write a review. Appreciate the review to be honest. You don't have to actually write anything. Just click the 5th star. Give it 5 stars. That'd make me happy. And then you can also, if you're on Twitter, if you're a Twitter person, go to at Smith Radio, SMYTH Radio. You can also follow another person that we think very highly of. That'd be Steve Spell 2. You can find him on Facebook and on Twitter, as well as Trumpocrats. 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 Find them on Twitter. They're trending, and a lot of people are tweeting about them. They're Democrats, and they originally were Democrats voting for Trump, and now they're just Americans with no affiliation whatsoever. Former independents, former voters that decide they didn't want to vote anymore, but that realize that voting is the only way to win. So, follow the Trumpocrats. Pretty neat Twitter account they've got going on there. I think we touched on everything else. You can also find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on the go. If you like to listen to iHeartRadio, I've made a quick little link for you. It's iHeart.smithradio.com. That'll take you directly to iHeartRadio. Or if you want, just go straight to our website, smithradio.com. On that website, at the top left corner, you'll see a red button that says Live, Sunday evening, 5 to 8. If it is Sunday evening and it's between 5 and 8, click on that button and you'll see us live. If it's any other time, you can still click on the button and you'll just see the last shows that we've done, as well as all kinds of other information. On the right side of the website, there's another red button, and it says iHeartRadio On Demand. You can click that, and it'll take you right to our iHeart page. Scroll down on the page, you'll also see a lot of great YouTube videos, as well as Breitbart's blog. You'll see the RSS feed. It's not a blog, but it's the RSS feed. Every article that Breitbart puts up, you'll see pop up through there, as well as our blog site, Sick Bias. So tons of information on the smithradio.com website, as well as Facebook and Twitter. We're trending all over the place for you. Oh, something happened earlier. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Something happened earlier in the middle of the night. I thought somebody had hacked Hillary's Twitter account and started asking her questions on her Twitter account. But the questions pertain to her. And so when I shot that over to Carrie, I said, man, check this out. I think she got hacked. Carrie wrote me back and said, you know what? That's funny. She's not hacked. She's actually asking those questions to Donald Trump. But it's projection because she's actually... They're questions that she should be answering. Like her Clinton Foundation and the money that where's the money going to and how can we trust you and all these things. That's what liberals do. They project. They love to project. Oh, that's something I forgot. Oh, my goodness. This is something real quick. North Korea. North Korea now currently has enough uranium to make 20 nuclear missiles by the end of the year. Yes. Obama. Thank you. Iran works very closely with the other regimes in the area to gain access to nuclear material. It's all about money. And, Iran works very closely with North Korea. Iran just got all that money. They got $33 billion from Obama. Iran and North Korea work close together. They've been working together on this nuclear weapons thing. Now North Korea has the capability of launching intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and South Korea said after last week's nuclear test that North Korea did, South Korea has said in a statement, we promise to annihilate North Korea if one more missile is launched. Yep, you heard it. They're threatening to annihilate North Korea if they launch one more missile. They've launched missiles over South Korea into the ocean. They've taunted them. They've taunted. Matter of fact, they taunted some of the American spy planes, threatening to shoot down American spy planes. There's not a lot of respect for us in the world right now. Matter of fact, there's a lot of disrespect in the world for us due to Obama's apology tours that he does. And last week, if you listen to last week's show, Obama went over to a foreign country somewhere in Asia and just ripped into America. I think it was 18 different times, calling America lazy, making fun of Americans, just ripping into Americans. He loves to do that. When he goes to other countries, he goes overseas, he just loves to rip on America. I mean, what is that? Who does that? Certainly not somebody that has any kind of love for a country. Poll numbers of black Americans, or Americans in general, but black Americans, numbers for Trump are going up and up through the roof. Hispanic numbers are really high. If you're on any kind of social media, you can see Hispanics and minorities, blacks, Asians, all different cultures that are Americans. They're making videos and they're coming out very, very strong for Donald Trump because they know a Donald Trump administration will help lower income families find jobs. It'll help the economy get back on track, help the economy start to become healthier again so that we can move forward. Ronald Reagan said, rising tides raise all ships. That's an absolute fact. If we can get the economy going, yes, rich people will become even more rich. But at the same time, people that are poor will become less poor. They'll raise up as well. There's an ebb and flow and a balance to the whole thing. Not only that, but when, like, if you imagine someone who's rich, someone who's $10 million net worth, maybe even more, say $1 billion net worth, they're a billionaire, and they have $1 billion worth of net. If they were to make $10 billion that next year, that's 10 times what they've made. I promise you, the first thing that they're going to do, they're going to want to invest it back into the economy. They're going to want to invest it back into their businesses. They're going to invest it back into certain things that will help make them more money, at the same time make you money, because they're going to pay you a good, decent salary to help them make more money. Does that make sense? I mean, when companies right now are strapped for cash and the economy is really falling apart, I mean, what business is looking around and say, hey, you know what? I think we can afford more employees, and I think, I think we'll hire more employees and we'll pay them more money. No, folks, I'm sorry, that's not happening. That is absolutely not happening right now. And it's because we are in a dismal, utter depression, contraction, recession. It's not working. Right now, it's not working. All the rules, all the regulations that Obama's put into place, all the different cabinet positions that he's put in, whether it be the EPA and all the rules and regulations that they're putting on coal-fired plants, coal mining, anything having to do with coal, shutting it down. Hillary Clinton came out just a few weeks ago when she could stand up before she started falling on her face. She came up and she said, we will destroy the coal industry and put them out of business. Can't do that, folks. You just can't do that right now. We need to become energy dependent. We need to build the Keystone Pipeline. We need to get that going, and we need to save America and focus on America. And by the way, on a side note, there's a billionaire in Canada that told Hillary Clinton that he would pay her money if she voted for the Keystone Pipeline. Ironically, she did. She got a lot of heat for that, but she certainly did. Oh, wow. Just some interesting things going on with that woman. She is bought and paid for. There's no question about it. So share that with your friends. Obamacare completely imploding by the day. Wow. That was a very quick hour. Stay with me every single morning, all the way up until the election. We're going to do this. It's the morning review on Smith Radio. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
With unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.